My name is Stephanie, and I am looking forward to this course and learning alongside you all as part of our PLA course for third year practicums. A little bit about me. I am a mother of 3 kids, almost 17, 15, and 10. I have a partner, Paul, who I've been with for 23 years, and we live in Edmonton, Alberta, Treaty 6 territory, and I work full-time within the Edmonton Catholic School District. I work on emotional and social development team. So I work within a school, supporting a school team, kids and their families as needed, who are impacted by developmental challenges, emotional and social challenges. And a lot of times these are, of course, as we know, impacted by environment and family systems and the institution that is school. So I am often challenged by having to work to find creative space for these kids to find their place within a school where they don't feel welcome, where they feel marginalized, where they are marginalized. And it's definitely a place where I feel very needed and very stretched. So it's been a great experience. I've been in this role for 2 years now. My other experience has been through my practicums, which I got through my bachelor or diploma of social work, which I got through MacEwan University in Edmonton here. My first one was working with Hope Mission Outreach Youth Team, and that worked in inner city, working with street involved youth. It's closed now, but it was a shelter program that provided overnight support and then outreach programming during the day. So relationship based, interesting place, working to kind of deal with a faith-based organization while remaining anti-oppressive. So that was great learning. I worked developing some groups, working with programming, but ultimately my biggest learning there was the value and the importance of building upon relationship and relationship first. Just meeting kids where they were at, listening, and being available. That was wonderful time spent there. My second year practicum was with a family school liaison worker within the school system. So social work in the school was my introduction to the education system, and definitely lit a fire for me to pursue a career within the school system. It's a frustrating place to be at times, but definitely a place where different lenses are needed to provide perspective and different programming opportunities for kids and youth and their families to navigate and to get through. And it's been great. I learned, did group work with girls, with different social groups within the school, learned different organizations and referrals within the city here, developed some counseling skills, which I loved. I loved just listening and collaborating with youth, and being on a multidisciplinary team, which is super challenging, but really great to witness how that's done, the challenges, but also the value of it. So yeah, so that's kind of my social work experience in a nutshell. I am, okay, so second question. So where do I live? The territories and the residential schools on this territory. So I'd said I'm on Treaty 6 territory, so the land of the Chippewan, Cree, Nakota Sioux, and Sault peoples. I am constantly being stretched and broadened to the beauty and the richness of the culture of the Indigenous groups within my community. I've been very blind to a lot of the impact of residential schools. This has been the learning within this program for me, and I'm very thankful for it. It's opened my eyes to a lot. So in exploring the residential schools, as part of my journey, another area which I was not sure of, I knew of Blue Quills Residential School, which is just north of us. But as far as into the Edmonton area, Edmonton Residential School, which it had opened in 1924 and closed in 1968, but it was the catchment to the Hobbema, Edmonton, and Saddle Lake communities during that time period. And of course, like many things in Alberta, it took a lot of digging to find these sites. So what does that say? I think we're still processing our own history here and owning it. And I look forward to exploring that a little further. My positionality. So I come from white European ancestry. My father was of German descent and my mom was Norwegian descent. So I have a very Western European history and ancestry, and have had to work through a lot of those positions and viewpoints that I've held and that have been a part of me. So within that, I'm a cisgendered woman. My pronouns are she and her. Able-bodied, heterosexual. I've been married for 23 years. Like I had said earlier to my husband, Paul. I do identify with Christian faith, and within definitely my social work education, that has been something that has really been worked through and challenged and disrupted. And yet I still will say that I do identify as a Christian, but I'm constantly navigating what that looks like, how it needs to be disrupted, how it needs to be enacted differently. But it has made my faith richer and has caused me to really explore who I am, what kind of social worker I'm going to be, and so necessary, right? So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I look forward to our discussions and hearing all about your experience, and know that will make my learning much richer. So thank you, and we'll see you online. Bye.